Hi guys, it's me Jill. Welcome to Jill Informed. I just finished watching Friday's episode of Celebrity Big Brother last night, and I know it's going to be on again tonight, but that's just going to be one of those recap episodes. I don't think I'm going to recap the recap. Sunday is the big finale, and I need to just talk about last night's episode because wow, it was a good one. So, spoiler alert, if you did not watch last night's Celebrity Big Brother, go do that and then come on back and watch this because I need to talk about it and I'm going to be revealing everything. All right, let's get started. This was a 2-hour episode and it was a double eviction. The celebrities did not know that. But it was a live episode. And again, because it's live and the way CBS lays out the episode, I could tell from the first moment that Brandi was going to go home. Now, we knew Brandi and Ariadne were on the block, but we didn't have the power of veto competition yet. So I immediately knew the way Brandi was dressed, that she was dressed for eviction. I wish they wouldn't do that because then I didn't know exactly what went down, but I knew for sure that Brandi didn't win the POV. We get to see the veto competition. They mishmash people's features together and you have to guess whose eyes, whose nose, and whose mouth each of these faces make up of any of the house. It's all the house guests. So they go one by one and they're timed. And Omarosa goes first. Okay, her time was 38 minutes and change. And to the confession cam, Omarosa says, well, I didn't want to win this one. So I was throwing it and I just didn't know how much time had passed. And then I knew I kind of had to speed it up. I didn't want it to look like I was throwing it. Oh, BS. Okay, I call BS on that, Omarosa. Number one, you wanted to throw it? Why? Girl, you need to win every competition you can in that house. Who are you aligned with? Who are you friends with? Nobody. And secondly, if you're gonna throw a competition, you don't make it that obvious. So to me, she just really was bad at that one. Next up was Ariadne. She did it in 9 minutes. Everybody following her, you don't get to see their time because if they don't do it faster than 9 minutes, the buzzer goes off. And nobody was even close to Ari, I could tell. So Ariadne wins the power of veto. Of course, she takes herself off the block. And Mark, I thought he might cave and go with what like Ross and Marissa and everybody want and put Omarosa up, but he didn't. Instead, he put up who he thought was the most likable house guest, Marissa. Mark's thinking was that that would ensure that Brandi went home. So now we know why Brandi is all dressed up for her exit interview with Julie. We have the live eviction. I think the vote was 3-1. Ariadne stayed true to Brandi. She voted out Marissa, but of course Ross and the others, I guess it was James, Ross, and Omarosa all voted out Brandi. I don't know about you, but I loved Brandi's exit interview with Julie. I found her very endearing. She was introspective. She seemed self-aware. She understood that it was her mouth that got her in trouble. But she said, you know what? I'm 45 years old. I'm not going to change now. I have tried and I can't. And that I'm just going to have to live with that. She understood that James and Mark voted her out against what would have been best for their game. This is the problem with Celebrity Big Brother. I don't think these people are motivated by money enough. They're motivated by comfort. And to them, it was just going to be more pleasant to be in the house with Marissa than Brandi. That's just annoying for like real Big Brother fans because there's no strategy to that. And if nobody really cares about winning, why should we care about watching? I don't know. There are some people, and again, I don't think they're motivated by money, but they are competitive. And I think they just want to win. And so for that reason, I think those people really are playing, but it's not quite as exciting or cutthroat as the regular Big Brother season. Okay, so I don't think I missed anything else important in that first hour, because I can't wait to get to the next part, because this is where it all gets super exciting. All right, now we have a live HOH competition. Mark cannot play because he is the outgoing head of household. So everybody else is stationed in a different room in the house so that they can't see what each other is answering. And they have to answer true or false to a series of questions about these pictures that they had to memorize earlier in the week. It gets down to the end, and it is a tie between James and Omarosa. To break the tie, they have to come up with the number of seconds it took for, I don't even know what, Shannon to do something in a competition. I don't know, I kind of wasn't paying attention to that part, but Omarosa wins head of household. I'm thinking, okay, this is going to be interesting, because she has to immediately nominate 2 other people. And who else is left in the house? Well, the gang of 4, James, Mark, Marissa, and Ross, and Ariadna. And all I can think is, do not be stupid, Omarosa. Please don't try to do something safe and put up Ariadna and like Marissa. I'm just thinking you should put up Ross and James. Plain and simple. The 2 strongest players left in the house. So we get back into the living room, and she has to immediately nominate 2 people, and she puts up Ross and Marissa. All right, you're half right. And maybe it was not a bad idea. I don't know. Now there's a POV to play. They had to run around the house, find these pictures, and one of them was not an exact match to these other pictures that were in the front. And they had to find out which one it was, what number it was, and put the number in and hit their buzzer. But of course, if they were wrong, they would immediately be out. So everyone's running around crazy trying to be sure that they're correct. The person who got back first was Ross. He put in number 4, he hit his buzzer, and Julie said, "Congratulations, Ross, you've won the power of veto." Oh my gosh, okay. I am on the edge of my seat. I know. I'm too excited. But anyway, of course, Ross takes himself off. I'm begging her in my head not to put up Ariadna. She puts up James. Good girl. Good girl, Omarosa. And this is how much of just a fan of the game I am. I'm cheering on Omarosa. Don't ask me. I just love good gameplay. And honestly, anytime anybody is head of household, I always put myself in their position. What would I do if I were them? Even if it's not what I want, as a fan, like who I want to win or whatever. So James and Marissa are on the block, and we need to have an immediate vote for who goes home. And James gets up, and his speech is about how he doesn't think anybody can beat Marissa in the final 2. She hasn't made any enemies, but as my daughter pointed out to me, she hasn't really done anything either. I don't know. My daughter seems to think that Marissa is actually quite beatable, because when it comes down to it and people think about things that happened and who made good moves and good plays and stuff, Marissa was not. She was more of a follower than a leader, so she's got a good point. But anyway, that was what he was trying to use to persuade people to keep him and not her. When Marissa got up, she said, okay, I might beat you in the final 2, but you're not even going to get to the final 2 if you keep James in the house. She goes, I'm not going to win anything. I don't win competitions unless it's a talking competition, and haha. Okay. So one thing that struck me was how funny it was that Marissa was also on board with the fact that she could beat anyone in the final 2. Okay. Kind of believe in your own hype there, aren't you, Marissa? While this is happening, the camera shows Omarosa and Ari furiously back and forth, whispering to each other. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, what's happening? What's happening? What's happening? So they go to vote. Ari and Ross vote out James. The only person that voted out Marissa was Mark. So James went home. Oh my God. Yes. I mean, you could see the shock on his face. What sweet revenge and quick karma for Brandy to have James walk out of the house an hour after her. Oh my God. It was exciting. I was proud, if that's how to describe it, I don't even know, but I was proud of Omarosa for making the choices she did, for really shaking up the house and not being afraid to make the bold decisions. She turned things around, and I think she did the right thing, especially, you know, for her. So James has his exit interview with Julie, and, you know, I don't hate James. I totally understand Brandy saying that he was cocky and arrogant, and that there's a difference between a man being cocky and being confident. And she said, like Meta, for example, he's confident, but he was just a lovely man. And James, not so much. But he's young, and so I cut him some slack for that. But I also thought he was pretty funny. And most importantly, he deserved to be there. Maybe more than anybody else, but at least as much as anybody else. He was a good competitor. He was into the game. He understood the game. And he wanted to win. I really felt like he wanted this. So for that reason, it's kind of sad that he's gone, because he deserved it. But you know what? This is Big Brother. Things turn on a dime. All right, that's why I needed to talk to you guys, because also we found out how Sunday night's episode is going to go. It is also a 2-hour episode. There are 5 people left in the house. There is going to be a head of household competition. The winner of that head of household will nominate 2 people. They're going to have a POV. Everybody plays that power of veto. The winner of the power of veto can choose to use it or not, and then they're going to vote one of those 2 people out. Now we're down to 4, and this is unprecedented for Big Brother. Of the 4 people that are left, they're going to have a head of household competition. Oh, I should say that that first head of household, Omarosa can't play, because now she's the outgoing head of household. I would be shocked if whoever does win doesn't put her up as one of the nominees. I can't, unless it's Ariadna, she may not put Omarosa up, but Ross, Marissa, Mark, they would all put Omarosa on the block. And probably, if it's one of them, they'd put her up against Ari. That I wouldn't like to see happen, because now I think I would like to see Ariadna win. She was my biggest surprise this season. She's sweet, she doesn't irritate people, and she's super smart and loyal. She stuck with Brandy right up to the end, even though I'm sure it was hard to be Brandy's friend. Okay, so like I said, when we're down to 4 now, of those final 4, there's going to be a head of household competition. Everybody's eligible, even the outgoing. The winner of the head of household doesn't just nominate 2 people, they immediately evict 2 people. Essentially, they are just picking who they want to go to the final 2 with. That's gonna be Sunday, and I will come back to recap that with you guys. Like I said, I'm probably not going to recap tonight's. If anything particularly interesting happened, I'll mention it in that final one. But all right, that's it for me. I hope you guys are loving this as much as I am. Don't forget to leave me a comment. I want to know what you guys think. Who do you want to win this? What do you think is going to happen? How do you think it's going to play out on Sunday? I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.